Welcome back, everyone. Today's video, guys, will be preliminary answer to Professor Pegasus latest video. As you guys probably saw in the end of that video that he put me in his video. Thank you, Pegasus. I had a video about replenishable joke or replenishable humor, and I think for his new video from today he decided to make it serious, that I was seriously doing those types of products and ordering them from China. Maybe he did it on purpose on his video. I don't know, but this was actually Professor Pegasus. It was actually not serious. I don't know if you took it serious that I'm doing this type of replenishable business. But I guess he did, maybe. Who knows? The guy's very serious, guys, as you guys already learned. You know, he is one of those content creators that kind of thinks deep in his soul or mindset that this possibly was not a joke. But just to kind of clear that particular situation, it was just a parody on Pegasus pushing replenishables. But anyway, see, a lot of people in his comment section, they also, similar to Pegasus himself, they don't exactly know about each specific individual or people or content creators, about their lives. So they just decide to be keyboard warriors. That's a problem in this country, unfortunately. People are afraid to show their faces. Well, Pegasus is not, you see, that's the thing. Professor Pegasus is not afraid. He's speaking out, making videos about other content creators. Of course, it's something new, right? It's like unusual that some other person calls out content creators, making videos about them, you know. Haven't been like that probably in a long time. But people who are in the comment sections, like I had an idiot today in my comment section on one of the videos about Professor Pegasus speaking out, being keyboard warrior as usual. And guess what? He was replied to in a manner where some content creators don't, or just delete messages. And I decided we'll reply. Original reply was very bad, so the message popped up about the YouTube community guidelines, where I was actually putting a lot of curse words in there. So unfortunately it didn't go, even though I could have posted it, but I decided I'll just use other words for that keyboard warrior. So, and other people, there are people that came into his comments so far with me in his video, and you know, were like, you know, not bad. I mean, they were kind of intelligent, normal, and it's like a small dosage. You guys probably learned a lot of content creators get really nasty comments, and some gets deleted, you know, which is their right to do. So another part of the video where there was actually good comment from one of his viewers today, big comment about immigrants and stuff. And this country, of course, is divided. We can talk about politics and stuff like that and see like the responses about the situation, but The point was that if you're, I always say, like, there are people who are egoistical or have big egos, and unfortunately there are like many people like that, or narcissistic, who only think about themselves. So you cannot, some people can change, but a lot of them don't, and they are always like this. They don't consider anything. Now, in terms of content that he's been making about content creators, calling them out on certain things, I already spoke about it. If you don't understand my personal points about it, that's fine. It's not a business school. I'm not a person that can tell you like Professor Pegasus about certain aspects of being a business. But the problem is that a lot of people don't care about the situation as he does. And of course the reselling world or community needed that kind of person eventually to come out and start making videos. As you guys know, not so many of them doing that. Why? Think Professor Pegasus should ask himself, or his viewers, his loyal viewers, why? Does it make a difference in reality? You should ask yourself, not just Professor Pegasus, but his viewers. Does it make any freaking difference that he makes videos about something like this? Do the viewers or Professor Pegasus think because of that those particular content creators will lose a lot of subscribers, or they will lose ability to sell stuff that they've been selling to their viewers, or memberships, stuff like that, Patreons? I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna change, because as many loyal viewers that Professor Pegasus has, there are also loyal viewers of other content creators. Yes, there are content creators, of course, that do different things. It's their right, and I spoke about it in my video about this. So what's the point? Of course the point is to make criticism. There are critics of everything. Now he was putting in the comedic stuff in his last video about me being very angry, and that's how it is. That's how life is. I'm not a keyboard warrior. You wanna come out and face me, go ahead and face me. I'm not gonna be a person that will hide or run away in the situations where you come and confront me with certain things, right? If you don't like something. But I think the problem in our society is that a lot of people are keyboard warriors because nobody wants to do illegal stuff, or nobody wants to get arrested for something, right? But everyone has a right to have their opinion, and that's fine. Have your opinion. It's not a problem for anyone to have their opinion. I think that what he's always talking about certain content creators consistently that he uses in his videos. One of his viewers in the comment section said about discriminating against channels. It wasn't actually, I wasn't talking about discriminating against YouTube channels. That's fine that he's making whatever he wants to, whatever channel he wants to use, fine. That's why a lot of content creators are kind of doing, in my opinion, the ones that are doing only content, like they are going to garage sales or estate sales or like sourcing without any teachings. Usually you cannot realistically criticize those types of content creators in reality, because they're not teaching anyone anything. But I do sometimes. If you look through my videos, I always tend to bring in certain educational type of stuff. It not necessarily it's all right. I'm not like saying, yeah, I'm always right. I'm like Pegasus presents himself as being a person that, in my opinion, you can of course, be opposite, and you may not agree. But he presents himself in a manner of being narcissistic, from my point of view. The viewers that watch him can probably disagree because they like him so much, but that's fine. What he's doing is bringing out that particular content into something that I always said there are people. What I think people can decide for themselves, what they are looking at in terms of content, of certain content creators. If they agree with their stuff, they're old enough, in my opinion, or, have different types of degrees, hopefully, and be smart enough to understand certain things, aspects of content, and what's being presented. But unfortunately, like I said before, in my videos, a lot of stupid people in this country, and they watch certain content creators and they believe certain things. They will buy certain things, memberships, certain courses, stuff like that. It's not my problem, right? It's not anyone's problem. It's their choice. I always said it when we were doing lives. It's their choice to buy certain things. Even if you try to hammer into their brains this is wrong, they still probably will buy certain things. It's not necessarily from content creators, can be products. So I'm not, in a way where the videos that he presented in his the parts of videos of couple of my videos that he presented, and someone said, oh, he wanted, that's fine, he used, I knew he gonna do a video with me, that's fine. Maybe someone didn't expect it, I expected it. That's understandable. He has the right to do that. There is no policy on YouTube that prohibits him from doing that. But certain bits, especially the last ending of where I did the video, humorous type of approach video on replenishables, I think he probably understood it was a joke, but he presented it as serious. If you look at his face, how he was responding to it. But see, that's the thing about it. He constantly touches up on things where certain people will say certain things, and they wanna, they don't criticize him specifically about his business approach, and that's, I think, he probably understands. If he wants to do his type of business with, replenishables, that's fine, and that's what people were saying in a lot of podcasts which he was criticizing, and other content creators, that he was pulling certain, comments about different things. I don't have any specific problem, and I don't have a problem with what he's trying to present. It's just a problem that how he presents stuff, and the way he presents stuff, in my opinion, is narcissistic. It's egoistical. He can use this video too in the future if he wants to. That's fine. I'm not gonna gain subscribers from it. I'm gonna lose subscribers. That's fine. I am the person, I don't care about this situation, about subscriber counts, about, views. As one of his viewers said in the comments, that I have a certain amount of views on videos about him, mostly, that have over 200. That's fine. It doesn't matter. I didn't make it to gain views, by the way, if that person is watching. I made this video because I like him, who can criticize people. I have my own criticism of content creators, and specifically the way they try to present things. If it was someone from reselling community, I will do the same thing. If I will catch something that will be like, everyone thinks, oh, you're doing it only on Professor Pegasus because he's presenting this approach of business or whatever type of hustle that can be considered as a hustle or a business. Doesn't matter. We're not gonna get into it. My point here is that there are other content creators who can present certain things about someone else, and I can criticize them too on that. I have the right to do so, like he does. So there are people who disagree with him, people who disagree with me. As he will say certain things about me, not understanding what he's trying to, what type of approach of business that he proposing or he's talking about. I understand it fully. It's very understandable stuff. It's nothing like I'm not one of those people, that's not the right way of doing business. I don't care about it. There are businesses, people running businesses, different types of businesses. I don't have any issues with that. It's a problem that he presents himself as being egoistical. He always bring up Josh Galt. Josh Galt doesn't say like, guys, that's not the right presentation. You don't see Josh Galt go into carry at home videos or Kevin Commonwealth videos or John flipping in easy videos or James Helfastray videos and starts to criticize them. Do you see that? Do any of you see Josh Galt do this kind of content? No, you don't. He may say stuff about this, that he can kind of lean towards agreeing with Professor Pegasus on some things, but he's not gonna criticize content creators that are doing certain things or said something that may have, be kind of not right, or said something that may not be right for business purposes. You don't see him do that, right? Pegasus can make a point in your next video, like he does at the beginning of the video previously on Pegasus, on Professor Pegasus Lounge. My channel is humorous. I mean, I try to make humorous content and throw some educational videos in there. But as one of your viewers and your comment said, yeah, my channel is small for a long time. I've been on YouTube since 2014 actually, and I haven't done videos, but I had a channel with different names. My name changed it again. I'm not one of those people who strives for consistent content because it's not an easy thing. Nobody said it will be easy, right? But the thing about it is, when you make a video, when he starts to criticize someone else, it's like someone would be from reselling community to someone criticize someone else. Yeah, I will probably make a video about it too. It depends on the situation, what the person will say. You don't see much of that. See, the viewers of Pegasus don't see that. And that's why he always kind of brings up Josh Galt into conversation in his videos. Because he says, oh, look, me and Josh Galt agree with everything. Yeah, but Josh Galt does not make videos criticizing James Helfastray about what he said, or carry at home what she said. Do you see that? Do you see Josh Galt do that? He doesn't. You have to ask yourself a question, why? Right? And Pegasus, Professor Pegasus say, because he's a white knight, he doesn't want to get into confrontations with other content creators because he may lose his own credibility with his products that he's selling. That's what he probably will say, because he has to have friends in there that will support him. He doesn't want to start, disagreeing with those people that he's friends with. And Pegasus, Professor Pegasus, he's not really friendly with anyone. That's why he can do that. He can criticize those content creators. He doesn't sell products to sell to other resellers to use, such as Josh Galt does with List Easier. Pegasus doesn't. So what's he got to lose criticizing everyone else, right? But that's his right. That's my right too. I can talk about different things. Keyboard warriors, of course, are welcome always. In my comment section, you're gonna get replied with certain language. It's not gonna be like some other bigger content creators. It's not gonna be something that you will me disregard certain. I may disregard certain comments, but if that's gonna be something that I will decide to reply, I will. Like I will meet you face to face and reply to you. I'm not a coward. You know, I was in a lot of fights in the past, so I'm not a coward. You know, I was hit a lot. I hit a lot. And I was injured a lot. So I'm not one of those people that, you know, will say, oh, over the keyboard, you know, I'm you're a piece of shit. Don't do that. Different mentality. Unfortunately, guys, you probably don't understand. People before the internet, by the way, before every stuff, all the stuff that came, like technology, men were men. If you wanted to confront someone, you were a man. Like people who I respect a lot, who went to the war, who went to the army, navy, marines. They were not afraid, you know, to die, and there's a lot of respect to them. Nowadays you see a lot of that changed. You know, new generation is completely different. You don't see a lot of confrontations unless people bring weapons. That's very unfortunate. You know, where is that manhood went? Nobody knows. That's just how it is. But anyway, I'm not gonna go into deep into that. So, to summarize this long video once again, I would say that you can put comments in. By the way, I never went into. He can, no proof of that for Professor to pull that card into one of his videos comment sections and commented. So he cannot pull that. He pulled some stuff today in videos that he put me in with accent, and before I end this video, see, that's where he tried to kind of manipulate this, because when I talk about my accent, or people who are my friends that I consider to be friends, because nowadays it's hard to consider someone a friend, even in business. But when they talk about an accent in a joking way, it's one thing. You can take a joke and it's not really puts bad taste in your mouth. But when Professor did it in his comments, talking about my accent, it didn't seem like the joke. You can read the comment. It didn't seem like he was joking. He just said that in his comment, you can read it. I'm not gonna repeat it. And I did actually show it in that video. And that's a little bit different. And someone will say, oh, you're butthurt. Oh, listen, it's not about being butthurt, but you have to stop that person right away before they continue. What do you think, guys, happened in high schools, middle schools, elementary schools, wherever you work, wherever you went? There's gonna be a bully, right? That will fucking constantly pick on you. Some people will hide all their anger inside and be angry. And you know what happens after that a lot of the times, right? But sometimes, not sometimes, but the way I do it, I will tell you about it right away. Not gonna be fucking backing down. I will tell you about it. So you know that's if you faced me and, you know, without any freaking arrest or anything, and you gonna come out to my face and say something like that, you're gonna learn something different. But you're gonna always rely on the law, like a lot of people do in this country, because this country exists on a lot of police protection, a lot of laws. Be it in another country in Europe or Asia or anywhere else, forget about it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. There will be more content about this situation, about other situations that I'll be putting out. Have a great day. Take care.